Hello. I can't see any of you. That's brilliant. Okay. So yes, I'm the editor of Horror Magazine. If any of you would like to talk to me about that, you're welcome. And if you would like to confess anything to me, I am also a priest. So, this piece is entitled, and it will appear in the first issue of the magazine, The Girl with the Bedroom Eyes. Have you ever lain next to someone you know you're not supposed to touch, and had your body ache as though every cell was screaming? It is those moments when a few inches of space seem like the wall of China that you know what desire is. It's only a few inches, only skin, only a small act in the great scheme of things. You can look, you can smell, you can listen, but a touch makes it real. A touch is change. I had spent the night in a small hotel bed, small being the operative word. And though I could feel his breath, it was so close. I didn't touch. And not touching made that deep pit of longing I had been keeping at bay leap up and lick my face. This must be what reaching your sexual peak means. After a night of frustrated need, suddenly I was all afire, a crackling, burning, gnawing want. Catching a glimpse of a young man's neck, I'd want to bite it. A random brush as I moved down the street would make me want to grab them and smell their hair. A hint of wind against my ear and I melted, knees weak and shaking. Restraining myself that day became a military endeavor. So later that evening, we all, my traveling companions and I, went to the club Om. I was searching for a kind of inner peace not provided by meditation. The hunt was on, and I had my bow cocked and ready. Give me a boy, give me one now. The first candidate leaning against the bar was a model-esque man with tattoos and a chiseled face. A quick glance through my human nature filter revealed that he was, most likely, a self-involved twat. The kind of pretty boy I normally would never waste my time on, because you see, I have spent my life in pursuit of connection, shared secrets, the possibility of love. But that night, the only prerequisite for my affection was a bit of charm and a large amount of sex appeal. So I dragged him onto the dance floor, and then, oh, so sad, he danced like a marionette, all jerks and floppy feet, and you know what they say about a man's feet. The hot beam of my glance roved from him to a tall mister with a silly goatee. I liked his friend more, but despite my torrid come-hither looks, he stayed with his girlfriend. So I danced with Mister, or tried to, but he was more interested in turning me into butter. In the past, I had resisted the grind, but for the sake of desire, butter I would be. The dance floor quaked and rolled, faces eager for their turn sped around me as though I were the center of some great pagan rite. A high priestess cloaked in divine fire, a faux goddess masked by ritualistic intention. Or perhaps I was just a girl whose sweat stank of desperation. Only one whiskey had gone down my gullet, and drunk with power I was. Amazed and a little frightened by my ability to pull men to me by just catching their eye, I almost wimped out. What an unbelievable force is this blatant need. It was as if they could smell it, howling like dogs to a tune no one else could hear. But with power, invariably comes fickleness, and I was no longer satisfied with a boy who moved like an elephant. I could have, almost, anyone I wanted, but oh, who would it be? And then he arrived. A delicious dark horse, a man in black, a hipster stranger with a soul patch and shiny buttons on his coat. Ooh, shiny. I drew him towards me like a puppet on a string and then asked him what his favorite poem was. Yes, I did, because I am pretentious enough to cover up my lust with literary affectation. But I was not alone in this, bless him. As for all of you who want to know, his favorite poem was The Raven. So we danced like snakes, circling in battle, grinning around our forked tongues. I had made my choice. It was time to move to the next phase of lure, tempt, and catch. I went to get a cigarette and waited to see if he would follow. He posed against